Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be with us today. And our goal is to make sure that you have a return of your investment in time, because as business owners, we know that your time is money. But I suspect, and I promise you today, that the information that you do receive here is, as we have stated with you, is something that you can take away to indeed populate your pipelines. I am Sharon Pender, President and CEO of the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council, and I personally want to welcome you to today's Build Back session, Navigating Recovery Together. We're here today because of an event that we all know about, and was far worse than we could imagine. And that, of course, is the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The impact has been profound, not only on our region's infrastructure, but on the businesses and communities that depend on it. At the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council, we're a 53-year-old organization whose mission is making the connections between our minority-owned businesses, small businesses, and our corporate members, and of course, state, local, and federal government. And because that is our mantra, we were blessed with the opportunity to provide the support for this particular project. And so the purpose of today's session is simple yet powerful, is to connect. That's what we do. We connect, advocate, develop, and certify those effective businesses with real resources and real opportunities and real support. That's real key to what's happening right now. And who do we turn to but the city of Baltimore and the Baltimore City government? And they have stepped forward today in such a remarkable way to help us in demonstrating its commitment and helping those businesses that were impacted by the collapse. But while we were at it, we said, you know what? This information is so valuable that we want to actually make all our constituents aware of it. And so, again, thank you for stepping in and stepping up to receive this information. And we are very thankful for those folks that are here. And we have some real impressive folks from the city of Baltimore that have taken the time to talk about what? You're going to hear from the Mayor's Office of Small and Minority Business Advocacy and Development, the Baltimore Development Corporation, the Baltimore City Department of Public Works, the City of Baltimore, rather, Bureau of Procurement, the Baltimore City Department of Transportation, the city's Department of Recreation and Parks, the City Department of General Services, and the Housing Authority of Baltimore City. Here are a few rules of engagement for today. At the end of the presentations, of all the presentations, we'll have a Q&A session because we want to get you in and out. We know that, again, your time is money. And so we're going to pace through this and open it up for questions at the end. And we'll do our best to address as many as possible during our 15-minute Q&A. Just drop them in the chat. But I also want to thank those folks that are responsible for today, other than the city of Baltimore. Of course, I have an affinity for my hometown and city government since I did do a tenure there. But I also need to thank my team, the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council, and those particularly that are managing the grant, our Build Back Better grant, Renee Sanford, Ken Clark, but also Nicole Miles and Christine Bivens, and others from our team. That I'll come back to that in just a moment as well. So let's get this show started. And our first presenter is our friend Christopher Lundy. He is director of the Mayor's Office of Small and Minority Business Advocacy and Development. Welcome, Chris. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much, Sharon. It's my pleasure to be here. Good afternoon to you all. And I'll jump right in because I don't want to delay us. As Sharon said, we're the Mayor's Office of Small and Minority Business Advocacy and Development. So we've got all sorts of opportunities and resources for you in Baltimore City. We have a broad agency that covers a lot of things, virtually all things for advocacy and development for small businesses. We're reviewing all city spending So when we've got things that are under $50,000, our small spends at this time, we're recommending that that work goes directly to small, local, minority, and women-owned businesses. For everything over $50,000, we're doing a individualized inquiry and review of those contracts and their scope of work to see the availability of small, local, minority, and women-owned businesses to set goals on those contracts, and we're looking to set goals to the maximum extent we can. Through the life cycle of procurement, we look at pre-bid, we look at bids to review if they've met those goals. And then post-award, we look at ongoing compliance with the goals that are applicable to those contracts. Beautiful thing about our program, we are within the law. We're in the Baltimore City Code. And I'm sitting right now at our Small Business Resource Center, 3000 Druid Park Drive, where you can come in and get one-on-one assistance and really see how we bring all these things to the table. One of the main functions we do, of course, is certify those local, small, minority, and women-owned businesses. If you're in the Baltimore City market area and are at least 51% minority and or woman ownership, and you have that operational and managerial control, that's your first hurdle. Please be advised that this is real control. So we want to see you having day-to-day control of your operations, and your operating documents cannot be drafted in a way where someone else can defeat that majority, minority, and or women control of the business to make those day-to-day operating decisions. You have to be independent, so you can't be at all related, codependent, or commingle with another business. You need to be operating, so you need to actually be in business already. And the small aspect of your business is per the SBA, Small Business Administration, size standards based on the NACE codes. And so long as you're within the applicable employee or gross receipts for that particular code, you are considered small in Baltimore City. You need to have been in operation with that leadership structure of majority, minority, or women ownership for at least that year prior to applying for certification, and have an operating office in the Baltimore City market area. And you can do all of this online at our BaltimoreCityDiversityCompliance.com, where you can go through and do the application. Importantly, to note the market area. The market area is larger than Baltimore City. So what that means is you don't have to have an operating office in Baltimore City to get certified. You can also be in our surrounding counties of Baltimore, Anne Arundel, Carroll, Harford, Howard, and Queen Anne's counties. If you have an active operating office in any of those areas, that satisfies the requirement. So don't feel pressure to have to get a location in Baltimore City if you're in one of those surrounding counties already with your operations. Our application time frame, we're saying 60 days to process the application. We are moving slightly faster than that, but please know that depending on the type of business you operate and or your operating office setup, we may come visit you for a site visit. We do allow virtual offices, but you need to have an office. It cannot be the mailbox only where you just have a mailing address. You need to have a location there, and you need to actively be doing your operations from that location. We do also allow home offices regardless of the size of your business. So if you are operating out of your home, don't feel pressured to get another space to meet these requirements. We have training on the website as well to help you get through any aspect of the process. Please make sure you're using up-to-date email address. All of this is electronic. We will be emailing you, and you want to make sure you're getting those messages. And remember, of course, you have to market your business. Being certified alone in Baltimore City doesn't guarantee you any contracts or work, so you want to make sure you're going through that. We want to make sure you guys remember that public procurement is a growth strategy. This is a way that you can grow your business. We have billions of public tax dollars, and of course, we're focused today on Baltimore City, but the same remains true, and the pot actually grows larger when you talk about the state of Maryland at the federal level. We all, at all of those levels, have an ongoing need for goods and services. And this really allows you to break into the market, get that value experience, network, develop new partners, develop new contacts within the city, state, or federal level to allow you to be thought of when new opportunities come up. So please don't think of public procurement as a fallback or a place that like you're forced to go to. There's a ton of money that's there that can benefit your business. Importantly, where do you find city contracts? You'll be hearing from my friends at DPW. So they have some construction projects listed on their website. Some of the other capital construction agencies within the city also have things on their website. But the prime place you want to go to is Workday. Workday is the online marketplace for doing business with the city. If you worked with us in the past, it was known as CityBuy, but we are now in Workday. All of the opportunities are there. You need to register in Workday to be able to take advantage of that. If you have questions, you can go to that procurement website regarding doing business with the city. Also, information on our website on how to get plugged into that. Also, if you do ultimately are fortunate enough to do work with us and partner with us, you're going to, if there are goals on the contract, you will be utilizing the Supplier Diversity Management System, which is B2G. That is where you would apply for certification. It's the same diversity management system, but where you see also the directory. What this is we're using this for citywide contract compliance. So when you're on a contract that has goals, if you're a prime contractor, you'll get contacted to indicate if you've paid a MBE or WBE subcontractor. And if you're a subcontractor, you'll be asked to confirm the amount that the prime has said they paid you over that period of time. So this is to bring transparency to the operations, allow us to be able to see at a glance where we are on contracts and really to be able to work in unison with the agency partners. So please be aware of that requirement as you move forward. I want to also highlight quickly our Baltimore Main Streets. We have 9 beautiful main streets across Baltimore. These are all communities that have tons of brick and mortar spaces. We also have the benefit of from the state Project Restore right now that is allowing businesses to go into those vacant locations with assistance and grants coming from state DHCD. So if you're looking for a place to locate your business, please feel free to contact us on the website, contact SMBA&D to get more information about those particular neighborhoods, what's available, because we'd love to have you in the main streets and throughout Baltimore City. As well as we spoke about the Small Business Resource Center. At our agency, we offer at this point over 150 webinars annually. This is a few of the topics we have, but we have more. We do this in partnership with folks like SBA, Google, Truist Bank, and others that provide a host of content to allow you to advance your business, and that's what we're all about. I will just say, please be on the lookout on our website for upcoming events. We're in the process of transitioning with the website, so if you don't see events right now, please be sure to check back because we're going to have a very, very full calendar that will be displayed there. And I also look forward to seeing you when we have our Small Business Advancement Conference. This is our annual conference. It's all things opportunities in Baltimore City and to really focus on small businesses. That'll be happening in June of 2026. So please look forward to that, and additional information, opportunities to be an exhibitor, to sponsor are already on the website. But thank you so much for your time, attention, and please go to our website. Feel free to just hit that contact link if you have any questions, concerns, and need help getting to the resources. But thank you so much for your time, and I'll turn it back over.
Thank you, Chris. And we have promised you a lot of information. So up next, we're going to keep it going. And don't worry, we're going to provide you with these decks itself. And so you'll have that information. Next, of course, is the Baltimore Development Corporation, Tom Welly and Jenna Hattenberg, and you'll see on their screen. Thank you and welcome.
Thanks so much, Sharon. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Welly, Senior Economic Development Specialist here at BDC. And we've also got Jenna Hattenberg from our Neighborhood Development team on the call as well. So I just want to go over a quick overview really of BDC and some of our services. BDC is the city's economic development agency. So we are a quasi-government agency. And that essentially means that while we are a government agency, we also have not-for-profit status. We also operate as a CDFI, a community development financial institution, and that is essentially our structure. What we offer is a comprehensive, essentially, economic development strategy for the entire city. So what we have in terms of the strategy section is the Certified Economic Development Strategy, which is a federal document that we work through our initiative. Ours is called Baltimore Together. Quick plug, the Baltimore Together seminar is actually on Monday, and you can register for that seminar at our website, baltimoredevelopment.com. And that is a free seminar. It's a full day of networking, panels, discussions, and things of that nature, where we go over our Certified Economic Development Strategy, updates, progress, and future development projects. That informs.
Please feel free to sign up. We have 19 different breakout sessions that could apply to any kind of business that you can imagine. And yeah, it's all free.
So please register for any of that if there's anything there that you might be interested in. What we do is we take that document and that informs the work that we do throughout the year, all the way from tracking and reporting on economic markers, different types of data, anything like business openings, closings, investments, private, public, things of that nature. And we also attempt to live through our equity statement there. Obviously, this is a minority city, and we are very cognizant of that. We try to strive for equity, not just equality. And how we do that on a day-to-day is through a variety of business assistance programs. What we really act as is beyond what we are doing on the day-to-day is a force multiplier. So generally, we can make connections within the government we can partner you with investment partners. We help with site selection for real estate. Pretty much anything that you need, we can act as a one-stop shop. At least if there's nothing that we do in-house, we can connect you with one of our many partners, whether that be, again, in government or outside of government, and really just try to help the business community in any way that we can. In terms of the Key Bridge collapse, that our foreign trade zone director, and actually I'll skip ahead here just to talk about the foreign trade zone. Our foreign trade zone director, Will Cawthorn, was a big part of the outreach in terms of connecting with impacted businesses and kind of doing an assessment. We had a survey and we helped direct federal funding as well as state funding for the recovery activities there. The foreign trade zone, for anybody that does importing is not aware of the foreign trade zone, this would be a great resource here. Basically, anywhere in this blue shaded area, if you are an importer of goods, there are certain benefits that come to the foreign trade zone, including sort of a pre-tariff ability to import goods, work on them, assemble things of that nature, and that allows you to sort of skirt those tariffs for the moment. Obviously, we know that the tariff environment is a little bit liquid right now, but that foreign trade zone area is administered out of BDC for the entire state. And that was a big part of our recovery efforts for the Key Bridge collapse. But beyond that, on the day-to-day, I'm going to go back to some of our slides and let Jenna talk a little bit about the base network and some of the things that our neighborhood development team does in terms of small business assistance and facade improvement grants and things like that. Jenna?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. So we have a few different categories of how we are assisting businesses. Under the neighborhood development, that's when we work with a lot of small businesses. We support through technical assistance, real estate, site selection, any kind of, tax credits such as the brownfield tax credit, the enterprise zone, and we support with the base network as well, which is a coalition of organizations throughout the city that have different strengths, and then we can connect people with what they need for their specific business. Another thing we feature is the ETC, which is our Emerging Technology Center, which people can, for any like biotech, technological advancements of any sort, we can connect with them. They can do small business assistance, have lots of connections throughout the city. And we just started our commercial district assessment project, in which we are boots on the ground in the different neighborhoods, checking for vacants, conditions, what would make a main street feel more comfortable, and that kind of data would improve the neighborhood through different grants and things like that. So for our facade improvement grant, if you want to go to the next slide. Yes, Tom mentioned earlier, it is the most popular grant in the city. If you have a brick and mortar store or business that's open to the public, we have a rolling grant that's open all the time. It's on our website. You can fill it out. It's matching grants for improving the visual look of your business and invite new and interesting customers into your space. Did you want to add anything else to that, Tom?
No, that about covers it. And we're at 6 minutes here, so I'm going to turn it back over. But again, there's so much more to learn. I encourage anybody who's interested to visit our website. connect with Jenna or myself if we are not the right people or the right agency for you. We will certainly make that connection for you. And I would also encourage everybody to, and I dropped a link to our website, but also to the Baltimore Together registration site. Take a look at Baltimore Together. Again, that's next week, starting on Monday at the M&T Bank Exchange for the main summit, and then the many, many, many different breakout sessions, which are all, again, free to register for, depending on your interests or your industry sector. You might find something there. It's a great place to network, and it's a great way to learn about what the city is doing from an economic development standpoint, a macro all the way down to micro scale. So that's my plug, and that's our pitch. Thanks very much, Sharon. Back to you.
And that
Thank
is
you.
awesome. And if no one's told you, you have an awesome voice.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Tom. Again, a lot of information. We heard from Chris about certification and services and Workday. We've just heard from Tom and Jenna about, trade zones and that the summit that's coming on and property improvements. And we're going to keep it going, and we're going to have that information for you, because I know there's a lot of note taking, but don't worry. We will have it. You haven't lost anything, because now we're going to hear from the Baltimore City Department of Public Works, Dina Joyce, Chief of Office and Boards and Commission. Thank you so much, Dina, for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Pender. Thank you for having us. My name is Dina Joyce. I'm with the Office of Boards and Commissions, and I will give you some information regarding pre-qualification and what we do. So OBC is a unique procurement process. We are race and gender neutral. We are under the city's charter, and we are the administrative arm to the Board of Estimates for all things pre-qualification. Our office adheres to the rules of pre-qualification to ensure equity to all of our customers. We are housed under DPW, and our vision, still like DPW, is to be a strong proponent and protector of our environment and the health and vitality of our communities. So OBC provides continuous support to most city agencies. I won't say all. We try to engage new and viable firms to pre-qualify and contract with the city while supporting the mayor's initiative to rebuild the city of Baltimore. Some things that we do in this office: we pre-qualify firms for items related to design to construction. Not per se just construction, but from them designing to construction on utility projects 50,000 and over. Firms must be pre-qualified with the Office of Boards and Commissions. It is different from being in Workday and procurement, and also different from being certified with Director Lundy's office. But he is a great partner, and he will send you back to us. Our customers are external, internal firms, and we do service worldwide agencies. Applications, we have adopted the standard federal form for consultants, and we have a contractor's questionnaire that is on our website. We do category codes at DPW. Baltimore City had their own, but we found that we're going to switch to NACE codes, and I think Director Lundy will be happy with that. We also do compliance. We oversee contractors and consultants' performance evaluation. There are disqualifying factors. We actually have an architecture awards and engineer commission meeting. And for that meeting, for us, it actually gets the commissioners to award our contracts and have you, a firm, would go to do your competitive negotiations. We do outreach, and we also oversee Task 3 of the Modified Consent Decree. And so we administer DPW Small Business Development and Training Program. Oh, I think I've lost control. Okay. Some of the consultants' applications, again, is our standard federal form 254. And then we have the process to do your submittals, which is the standard form 255. And we have our contractors questionnaire for the contractors. The performance evaluations, of course, everyone who gets 90 to 100 are excellent. And unsatisfactory performance evaluations can affect the firm's pre-qualification status. Some of the disqualification factors are your failure to maintain satisfactory performance, conviction of bribery, extortion, fraud, or a similar malfeasance. Also, failure to pay your subcontractors and or suppliers, having two or more bids in non-compliance. And there are other factors, but we do try to work with you to ensure that you are able to work with the city, but there are things that we cannot approve. And we don't like you working award your board approved money limit. We advertise in 4 newspapers, the Afro, Daily Record, Baltimore Sun, Times, and also on eMaryland Marketplace Advantage and with the Maryland Washington Minority Companies Association, and also on DPW's website under pre-qualification. This is more about our AEAC meeting, which the end user agencies submit to us their top ranked firm, and the commissioners actually approve the firms for recommendation to the end user agency to start competitive negotiations. Automation, it's about time, and it's coming to a computer near you. So we are ready for automation with pre-qualification. Our process generally still takes 35 business days from it getting to us and us starting on it to going to the Board of Estimates for final approval. The Small Business Development Program, we have our OBC. She is our Small Business Development Manager, and she also does outreach. But in this class, it's going on now. We've had it, we are in our 10th year. Enrollment started in April for the 2025 class, and our curriculum includes, blueprint reading, towards you getting your OSHA certification 10 at the end of this project, at the end of the classes. It is from 6 to 9, generally on Tuesday evenings after work. But it is a great course. And since we have unbundled contracts, we are now talking about opportunities in phase 2 of unbundling that are going to smaller firms to bid on these contracts themselves. So unbundling was a big deal that the mayor actually adopted, and it's moving forward well. That is it for me, but we are open. Walk-ins are welcome to our office. If you need anything, if you can't reach anyone from DPW or any of the other agencies, we are a resource. We can help you do so. Thank you for your time, and thank you, Ms. Pender, for having us today. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much. And you have said some things that are magic to our ears. To hear about unbundling, that's just
Yes.
magical, right? And then congratulations on the 10 years that you just talked about. But what's really important, pre-qualifications, and folks have to understand, to do business with any entity, you have to understand the rules of engagement and
Yes.
understand what goes on. And so this is just magnificent. Thank you for the work that you do. But one thing that you did say, and folks have been saying before you, come to us, and if you don't understand, we'll make the connection. And so thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone.
Me too. Okay, the powerful Bureau of Procurement for the City of Baltimore. That's Adam Mann, Chief Procurement Officer, the CPO.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to be here. My name's Adam Manny, and I'm the Chief Procurement Officer for the city. And I'm going to go through a couple of things on how to do business with the city and what we're looking for, goods and services, things of that sort as we move forward. So to start with, the Bureau of Procurement is part of the city's Department of Finance, and we report directly through to the Chief Financial Officer. The Bureau of Procurement, we have 3 distinct areas, which is procurement, property disposal, and our print shop, printing and digital services. And our mission is to provide responsible sourcing and procurement and managing of the supplies of goods and services needed by the citizens of Baltimore and our departments and agencies, and be an efficient use of taxpayer dollars as we move forward. We are stewards of your money, and we want to make sure we do a good job at that. So our processes really start with our departments, our agencies, who determine what they need as the subject matter experts. They then put that information together into our system called Workday, and that comes over to the Bureau of Procurement, and then my procurement officers, being the subject matter experts on procurement, help determine the proper methodology to get those goods or services. We prepare those documentations, we get them ready. We prepare in the Bureau of Procurement to advertise the solicitations, and you'll see later there are dollar thresholds. So any solicitation that has a value of $50,000 or greater, we post on our ERP, our internal finance system, Workday. We post on the EMMA system, which is the state of Maryland system, Electronic Maryland Marketplace Advantage. And we also advertise it in 3 local newspapers. Once those solicitation goods come back in, they go to our Board of Estimates, which is comprised of Mayor Scott, City Council President Cohen, Comptroller Henry, the City Solicitor, Ebony Thompson, and our Director of Public Works, Matt Garbach. And it goes to the Comptroller's office. The Comptroller's office then opens them up, reads them aloud. We go through our final determinations, we do our due diligence, and then my office, and if you've seen me at the board meetings, we go back to the Board of Estimates with our recommendations for final award. And then the board finally makes the final award. So we do have a couple of different types of procurement. We have what we consider informal procurement and what we consider formal procurement. And again, this is based upon a dollar threshold. So an informal procurement is anything at $50,000 or less. But we still post those in our Workday system. We still post them on our website, and we move forward from that. Anything under $25,000 can move through our system, and I do have the authority to make those approvals, and we move forward. But anything from $25,000 and $1 to $50,000 and up still goes back to the Board of Estimates for approval. So there's a really good check and balance system going on to ensure that we're, again, being good stewards of your money. A formal procurement is anything over $50,000. And that requires us to be advertising in the newspaper, advertising on the EMMA sites, and making sure that we are getting the word out as much as we can. And all of those awards must be made by the Board of Estimates. So where can you find contracting opportunities? That's probably your biggest question as we move forward with this. The first is our Workday platform. It's on our website, which is at the end of it. We recommend that you register in Workday. If you're not registered, it takes about 40 minutes, and then it takes us anywhere from 48 to 72 hours to certify you in our Workday system. And this is for all city goods with the exception of Public Works and A&E services. So this is where you want to be. If you're not in our Workday system and we are looking for potential business partners, we don't know you exist. Additionally, if you're not registered, I recommend that you register on the state's EMMA site, the Electronic Maryland Marketplace Advantage. That is where all of the state opportunities are. And again, any formal solicitations that the city does, we do put out on that website onto EMMA to try and, again, make our net bigger to catch as many business partners as possible for them to reply. Additionally, like I mentioned, we do put it on our website, which is here. We advertise in the Sun, the Daily Record, Afro-American, and also various chambers of commerce. So the more places you can register with to get this information, the more items you're going to see. Some of the benefits: enhanced visibility, notifications, which is a great one. If you are registered in our system, in our Workday system, under the correct category code, when we issue a solicitation, Workday will actually email you and say, hey, you've registered for this, we've done a solicitation, please click the hyperlink below to download it. We are moving towards electronic bidding, where you'll be able to submit all of your solicitations online. We're not there yet. Right now, we do require paper copies, which go to the Comptroller's office. And our goal is also to make for transparency, working with our business partner, with the Mayor's Office of Small Business and Development. Director Lundy spoke to you about this, making sure, excuse me, we can debundle when we have the opportunity, that we can include our local minority women-owned businesses to ensure that we can spread the wealth around and give everybody an opportunity to do business with the city. If you're getting ready to pre-register, here is the information. It shows you right on our landing page how to register, how to hook up with it. And when you go there, it'll say how to do business with the city, and you'll go through and register yourself in as we move forward. I will point out that the small minority business office's website is slightly different. If you are a small minority women-owned business, you do need to register and get certified through their B2G system, but you also need to be registered in Workday. So there are two systems, but you need to make sure you're in both. And the reason for that is when I issue a solicitation, it'll go through Workday. If we issue a solicitation that requires a percentage of small minority women-owned businesses, the primes who might be bidding or putting in a solicitation will go to that B2G website to find business partners who can fulfill that. So please make sure you're registered in both. Procurement at Baltimore City, this is exactly how it'll look. You'll click on the button that says doing business with the city, and that will start you along. But you can also see some of our current contracts that are coming up for expiration, upcoming bid opportunities we're working on, and we are really trying to get more and more online to be as transparent as possible. And that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, we heard from the Chief Procurement Officer, Adam Manny, and that was some powerful information. So nuggets there, B2G and Workday, make sure you're in both systems and where the information is coming from, a lot of resources. Another powerful organization within the City of Baltimore government is the Department of Transportation. And today we have Cynthia Parker Kirk, who is the Contract Administration Supervisor, sharing information with us today. Welcome, Cynthia.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. Again, my name is Cynthia Parker Kirk, and I am the Contract Administrator Supervisor for the Department of Transportation. So we're just going to go through just some of the slides that pertain to DOT, but we do have a full presentation that will be emailed to everyone and when available. So the Department of Transportation overview, we are comprised of 8 divisions. We have our Conduit Division, which provides the City of Baltimore with an accessible, controlled, and documented underground infrastructure to support power distribution, communication, and signal networks within the city in a safe, professional, and reasonable manner. And we have our Transportation Engineering and Construction, which we commonly call as TEC, which manages the engineering, design, and construction administration of capital improvement projects for the Department of Transportation in the City of Baltimore. The TEC division is committed to serving the citizens of Baltimore by assessing and meeting the diverse transportation needs of its citizens. We have our Maintenance Division, which is responsible for maintaining and preserving a safe and well-lit transportation network, road maintenance, and facility repairs to our city's infrastructure. Our Safety Division, which provides an essential service for safe and convenient means of travel throughout the City of Baltimore. The safety of our street is secured by education and enforcement of parking and traffic laws. While our Traffic Division is responsible for providing efficient and safe flow of vehicular, pedestrian, and bicycle traffic, activities include the maintenance of signs, marketing, and traffic signals, as well as the management of traffic. We have our Towing Division, which is responsible for removing vehicles in the city's right-of-way, and our Permit and Real Estate Division, which is responsible for issuing permits for events in the city right-of-way, developers agreement, minor privilege permits, and project priority matters. And lastly, we have our Planning and Transit Division, which is responsible for the development of the department's capital improvement plan. We advertise in the Baltimore Sun, the Afro-American Daily Record, Baltimore Times, and as Mr. Manny specified, the Email and Marketplace Advantage, which is known as EMMA, as well as BaltimoreCity.gov. With construction, our bidders' requirements must be pre-qualified by the Department of Public Work Office of Boards and Commission for services valued at $50,000 or more and outstanding work within the work capacity dollar range. They must be in good standing with the State Department of Assessments and Taxation. The minority firms must be certified by Small and Minority Business Advocacy and Development, which is named SIMBAD, formerly known as MBO, for our locally funded project, and MDOT for our federally funded projects. They must be excluded from debarment and registered with SAM.gov. They must submit a bid bond with 2% locally funded or 5% federally funded. And they must submit a duplicate bid package for public viewing and must attend all pre-bid meetings when mandated. This is just a sample of what an advertisement looks like for construction, where it would list the title of the project itself. It would let you know the dates that it is due, which has to be submitted in the controller's office at exactly 11 o'clock. They will not submit any bid books after that. So it'll let you know the date, the time, who you can email if you have questions, where you can come look at a book that would be labeled not for bidding purposes so that you could overview to see it. It would list the cost of the book, the bid book, how much it costs, and that check would be written directly out to the Department of Finance, the Director of Finance. And it also will give you the amount of the project, some of the verifications and the scope of what the project would be required. This is just another listing for another construction project federally funded. Again, just giving the title, the time frame, when the pre-bid meetings would come. We do recommend that when you're looking at a project for the pre-bid meetings, because they're all open, that you can come and network and meet the project managers, some of the primes that may be looking to bid on those books. Then we also have our local design projects. Design projects are a little different. You come and do a presentation opposed to any bid books. So this is what a overall view of what you would see in the advertisement in regard to design projects. And again, once these are awarded, then you would come and the prime would come and do a presentation, as well as bring their subs that will be participating in the project as well. And our local funded projects, they list again the overview, because most of our projects are on calls where they have a set dollar amount anywhere from 1 to up to 5 million. And it will specify again how the project would be listed and what scope of work is going to be required. And this is just some of the important numbers that when you have questions, be it with the contract administration, which is my direct chief, our public works, where you can have any questions about the big results, as well as Mr. Lundy's office, and as well as if you have questions with MDOT as well. And of course, the infamous Dina Joyce, who is the chief of the boards and commission. And again, my name is Cynthia Parker Kirk. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions that we can be of assistance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, when people are sincere, when they give you their phone numbers. And so not only we have all this information, but we also have contact information. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just so invaluable. Who we have up next is Baltimore City Department of Recs and Parks. I know that is a commitment the mayor has made in terms of what we've seen under his tenure, but it's also, as a native Baltimorean, one of my favorite departments as well, is where I learned how to swim. We're going to turn this over to Adam Borman, Chief of Capital Development, Office of Capital Development and Planning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sharon, and thank you for the kind introduction. Again, my name is Adam Borman, Chief of Capital Development, Baltimore City Rec and Parks. I'm a licensed landscape architect and have been with the city for 15 years now. Got quite a bit of things to cover. As part of that, we're going to talk about what we've been up to over the last 3 years, what kind of work we're doing currently, and how you can get involved with us going forward. As Sharon mentioned, Mayor Scott has been very supportive of our agency. Through his support, we have completed over 40 projects since 2022. We're currently under contract and under construction with 10 projects, with 2 more in the wings. This will be totaling over $165 million worth of actual construction costs. So we've been very busy, and I don't see us slowing down anytime soon. In terms of what we've been up to, we've completed 3 pools, 27 different playgrounds, 12 athletic court resurfacings, and a rec center renovation over the last 2 years. Because I'm fortunate enough to be able to show some beautiful pictures, I've got that for you today. First of which is the Walter B. Carter Pool, kind of like central North Baltimore. This was the first kind of model of this new neighborhood scale pool that we're doing. It has a 4-lane lap pool as well as a 0 entry or beach entry wading pool. This is really the standard of what we're trying to do in years to come. 2 more that opened this year were both at Towanda and Coldstream. Very similar scope and capacity for these pools, but as you can see, this is what our people deserve. This is what our residents, should be expecting from us when it comes time to cool off in the summer. So some really beautiful work done here. I mentioned some of the other projects. We have 126 playgrounds across the city. Eventually, they all need to be kind of redone or upkept. We were fortunate to receive quite a bit of ARPA money from the federal government, and through that, we were able to resurface 12 basketball courts or tennis courts, as well as 27 playgrounds. There's Mayor Scott enjoying it in the bottom center there. And then this is a little bit of what we're up to today. As I mentioned, 10 projects under construction right now, 2 more that'll be upcoming in November. A few of these big rec center projects are in the final stages, of which we have 5 major projects. This is more really work than this agency has seen in, 40 or 50 years. So I feel very fortunate to have this opportunity to make such a great impact to this great city of ours. So this is I'm going to just look at a couple of those projects real quick. This is the Chick Webb Recreation Center on the east side, historic center built by a African American community. This project expands the current footprint. It adds a regulation scale gymnasium, and then it goes on to renovate all the additional spaces on the interior. It'll have a legitimate full-scale fitness area, weights, treadmills, things of that nature, yoga studio. And then what's unique of this project is there's a founder's hallway with a lot of interpretive information and things about the folks that have been involved in the community. And then in addition to that, there's also a recording studio. So we'll have people making music and doing all kinds of cool things in there. Closer to me on the west side, this is Parkview Recreation Center. This is a multi-agency collaborative effort. It was a surplus school and a connected rec center that we demolished, working with DHCD, the housing department. We were able to get some federal funding to re-envision what this square block was. So opening probably in January will be this new recreation center. This is more of a neighborhood scale. It'll have open fitness, community spaces, a gymnasium, as well as an expansive park outside the back of it. So a really nice project there. This is back on the east side. There's an existing rec center. The rec center is that little brick piece that's off to the left side. We're adding on to that with additional locker rooms, open fitness, and the big cube here is a very large gymnasium. It'll have two 84-foot courts as well as a 94-foot court down the middle. This will be the largest gym within our assets going forward. We'll have the opportunity to use a curtain and have some different tournaments and things of that nature that really we haven't been able to do with the facilities we have today. Another one under construction is in the southwest corner of the city. This is Congressman Elijah Cummings Rec Center. This is in Fair Baybrook. Another neighborhood scale project, but really starting to show how we're reinvesting in our rec centers. In some cases, taking two in one region and combining them into one. But this is our way of showing greater investment in our neighborhoods and bringing in 21st century recreation. Another pool that's under construction is Greater Model Pool. It actually just finished. That'll be open next summer. And then I'll get to the last couple of these here. We have a number of projects out on the streets right now and some more that'll be bidding either later this fall or winter. A couple to highlight is the Cab Calloway Legends Park. This is kind of cool that it has some musical attributes to pay homage to Cab Calloway and all that he meant to the city of Baltimore. Another one is the renovation of the historic Howard P. Rollins Conservatory Palm House. I believe this is the second or third oldest conservatory of its kind in the country. And then we're always doing other park work as well. This is an artificial turf field that'll be built in Leakin Park. That'll be bidding this fall. And then more fields in Patterson Park as well. Realignment and renovation of some softball fields. And so I'll finish out here just telling you these are the prime categories that we generally work with when we bid our projects. Park rehabilitation being the main one. A lot of these new construction, new rec centers fall under 3-story and under, but you'll see some of the other ones as well. Through our projects, we use all types of trades. So we encourage you to work with Dina and her team to get pre-qualified. And of course, the Sinbad office as well. Look forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. I got to tell you, I am blown away. And all I have to say is wow through all the things that are happening. And thank you. I'm so happy that we've been able to get this update today. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of information. We only have 2 more agencies to go. We ask that you hang in here with us so that we can share that information with you. So we have now the Department of General Services, Aza Rizkala, the construction contract administrator. So please hang in there with us. We just have this one and one more before we open up to questions. You cannot deny this has just been incredible information. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for having me here presenting for you about the Department of General Services. My name again is Azar Rizkalla. I'm Construction Contract Administrator. DGS have multiple divisions. Among them is administration, performance management, facilities maintenance, fleet management, capital projects, energy, and I highlighted capital projects because they're where I came from. For what do we do? And we always ask this question when we have outreaches. We do vertical buildings. Our job is to take care of the 150 city-owned buildings. And we do anything in these buildings, starting with we can do simply an office renovation to a construction of an entirely new facilities. We ourselves make a meaningful difference in the city for the employees, for the city residents who come into these buildings to do business or who work in these buildings. For the design and construction projects, the process, how it starts, we start by we having a pool of on-call consultants and sub-consultants. Those are who issue us the bid documents to go out and bid for these projects. Whatever the project is, we have different on-call consultants between MEP consultants, civil structural, and architectural. Once we have the bid ready with the specifications and the drawings, we take this out to bid and we advertise like other agencies through the local newspapers and through EMA and through our own website. Contractors biddings as primes on our project must be pre-qualified with the OBC, and Dina Joyce has talked about the pre-qualification steps. And additionally, subcontractors intending to perform the work exceeding of 50,000, they also have to be pre-qualified with the Office of Boards and Commissions. For the MBE and WBE goals, each construction project has a minority goals that is established by the Minority Office SIMBAD. Every bid must include, when you submit your bids to us, every bid must include a full completed minority participation package. Prime contractors are required to engage MBEs and WBEs who are certified by the City of Baltimore, so by SIMBAD. So if you have a minority who is not certified, but he's a DBE, like let's say he's certified with the state, we do not accept that. So you have to engage people who are certified with City of Baltimore, and you need as primes to meet or exceed the goal by these minorities. A piece of advice about the minority package from years of experience with the city. Some contractors have found non-compliant because the prime didn't utilize a currently certified minority company. So they were certified at one point, but not certified now, and they still used it, and their bid was found non-compliant. Other thing, you, as I said before, you might be non-compliant because the minority firm certification had, I said, expired, or they are a DBE. So a piece of advice, ensure your minority firms are actively certified by the City of Baltimore. Confirm that minority certification remain valid well beyond the bid due date, because sometimes by the time the minority office is reviewing your bid, they will find out that this minority is not compliant, while they were compliant at the time of the bid, but now they're non-compliant. So make sure that they have a period of time to be compliant way after the bid. B2G diversity management system that has been in use for a couple of years now, or a year and some, and Mr. Lundy has spoke about that. It's so we always we ask our awarded companies to go in B2G now and put their information there. And here I listed the required steps, but the minority office SIMBAD can always help you what to do, what do you need to do. They will give you full instructions on what you need to do. It's really not hard at all. It's very simple, very friendly user. So once you're there, you will know and you will be prompt what to do. And we will always be there to help and directly to the minority office when there is something we don't know, to help you with that. Here are the opportunities that we have with the Department of General Services. So the projects we have currently on the street is the Forest Park Library addition and renovations, and this bid due date is November 5. We have the City Hall Tunnel Waterproofing Project. That's upcoming project. We will advertise it on November 7. And we have the Harvard Senior Center renovations and alterations, and that's coming to be advertised on December 2025. So you see, if you look at this, this is all vertical construction that anybody who is interested or have experience with that, you can look for them and apply your bid, or as a minority, go through a prime. I put here some renderings of like this is the upcoming or the now on the street Forest Park Library renovations. This is the library, and this is not actually after. We are adding to the library. This will be, we will maintain the front the front of the library as is, but this is an addition to the back. So we are doing multiple renovations in this library, like the roof, other things, adding. But this addition will open the library up to the back, to the neighborhood in the back, that they will be able to see that this is a library and it has an entrance that they can utilize. Also, I put here one of our projects that we have already done. It's a roof, and this is the before and this is the after. You can see the difference. As I said, we make a difference in the lives of city employees and on the public who comes to do business in our facilities. These are our teams, starting by the chief, the deputy chief. These are the fiscal team, design team, this is the project control. This is the historic preservation team. And this is me as Rizkalla, the contract admin supervisor or construction admin. And Lauren Hoover works with me and we help each other to do the contract administration. I see that our jobs are not as nice as Recon Parks, but we are here to help city employees and city residents. That's it for me. Thank you.
And that's incredible. Thank you so very, very much. What great information, and again, the library system, very important. And so thank you for all that you do and for being here today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging in there with us. We have one more powerful agencies. And guess what? You've heard from the most powerful agencies within the city government of the city of Baltimore. Now we're going to have the Housing Authority of Baltimore City, Lauren Hicks, who is the Procurement Compliance Specialist of MBE/WBE. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Again, thank you everyone for sticking around till the end. I'll try to keep mine brief. Again, my name is Lauren Hicks. I am the Procurement Compliance Specialist for the Housing Authority of Baltimore City. Briefly, our mission at HABC is to create and provide quality, affordable housing opportunities in sustainable neighborhoods for the people that we serve. The Housing Authority of Baltimore City actually was recently tasked with taking over the Housing Authority of Havre de Grace. So it's increased our footprint in the state of Maryland. So more people that we're able to provide housing for, more businesses that we're able to provide opportunities for. Also, a little humble brag, HABC is the 5th largest housing authority in the country. So we're helping a lot of folks. I'm just going to jump right into it. Doing business with HABC. HABC has a variety of methods or categories in which we procure goods and services. First are micro purchases. These are $10,000 and typically not posted on our public bidding platform. The requesting department will reach out directly to the potential seller to perform work or request a quote. These are something, for instance, development needs, some stairs replaced or a railing, something like that. So the manager might reach out directly to a company. Our informal and small procurements. These are purchases between $10,000 and $250,000. These are available on our public bidding platform, and I'll have a link for that a little bit later. Our formal procurements, these are $250,000 or higher. These are advertised before and being posted on our public bidding platform. Additionally, because these are for larger dollar amounts, there are more requirements of the seller. And these requirements are specific to each procurement, so they're outlined in the bid documents. Lastly, our capital engineering projects or our job order contracts. These are multi-million-dollar contracts that HABC typically awards once every 5 years. Currently, these are due to be renewed in 2026. And after a competitive bidding process, HABC will pre-qualify several general contractors that have submitted a proposal that includes any potential subcontractors. And throughout the contract cycle, various job or task orders will be awarded to the contractors and their subcontractors. A little bit more about the job order contracting program. A job order contract, a JOC, is a competitively awarded, firm fixed priced, indefinite quantity contract for a collection of tasks and related specifications that have established unit prices. These contracts are to be used to accomplish the repair, alteration, modernization, maintenance, rehabilitation, demolition, and construction of infrastructure, buildings, and structures utilizing job orders issued under those contracts. Under a job contract, the contractor is required to furnish all management, documentation, labor, materials, and equipment needed to perform the work. So how can you find out more about procuring with us? In regards to micro purchases, you're going to have a link to our vendor questionnaire. HABC doesn't have a pre-qualifying process. Each procurement, the vendors or suppliers must be qualified for, but anyone can submit a bid. But because there are no formal bid submissions for the micro purchases, the questionnaire just allows us to engage with your business, find out about the types of procurements that you usually bid on, the sizes of them, any insurance information if you are certified MBE, WBE, or DBE. This information gets shared directly with the departments that could use your company's goods and services. Officially, unofficially, it still doesn't hurt to, if there's a property that's near your office or one that you see work being done on, it doesn't hurt to just go by the management office and offer to drop off some cards. I'm not saying inundate folks, but sometimes good old-fashioned cold calling does work. The questionnaires, that information gets shared throughout the department, but because the managers are the ones who engage with the businesses directly for those small jobs, and those might be some of the ones that folks who are just getting started might be more likely to be interested in, just going out there with some cards, maybe some magnets, and just introducing folks. It doesn't hurt. I've never seen it work against anyone. In regards to finding out more about our small informal and our large formal procurements, still still complete the vendor questionnaire. Also, you'll find these are posted on our bidding software here under Visit HABC Procurement Opportunities. The information will be linked as well. Also, once you register with our bidding software, you're always informed of upcoming procurements. The software is undergoing a bit of a branding change. Previously, it was called Bonfire. They're moving towards Una Solutions. So just understand that if you see either name in any of our bid documents, it's referring to the same thing, but all the links will be current. In regards to finding out about our capital engineering projects and our JOC program, I would check our webpage or our Instagram, but our webpage under here, Doing Business with HABC, to keep an eye out when they're up for rebid. They are up for rebid next year, but once they're bid out in 2026, they won't be up again until 2031. So it's a little while. If you're interested in subcontracting, definitely be proactive and reach out to the job contractors that currently have those jobs. I'm going to link their contact information as well. These are some of our upcoming procurement opportunities: vacant unit renovations, lead paint removal, janitorial services, elevator maintenance services, stucco installation, vinyl replacement window installation, vehicle repair services, and janitorial services, as well as various consulting services. Some key pointers when selling to HABC. Please be patient with the government. Some contracts could take several weeks to be awarded after bids have been submitted. Please read the documents in their entirety to find out the location and time of the site visit. Not all contracts have site visits, and sometimes multiple site visits will take place at the same time, and sometimes there'll be more than one at the same location. Be advised that some contracts may have MBE, WBE subcontracting goals and/or Section 3 Davis-Bacon wage requirements, and these are different for each procurement. It's not on here, but I'm going to note that because HABC, it's a good thing that we're federally funded. Now it's, to be determined, but because we're federally funded, we can utilize companies that have their certification from anywhere in the country. Some agencies, you have to be certified within the city. That's not the case with us. As long as you have a certification and you can prove that certification anywhere in the country, Puerto Rico, even our United States territories, we will take certifications from any certifying agency. When it comes to your actual attachments, please check them over so your bid is not dismissed over a minor error. Make sure you include all required attachments. Please double check your math for any calculation errors, anything that requires a signature and/or notarization. If required, make sure to include a copy of your actual bid bond and your articles of incorporation. Lastly, the procurement team may be able to help you with your bid until it's due. Afterwards, we can't offer any assistance, technical or otherwise. So again, bids are typically due at 2 p.m. I would try to post at least 24 to 48 hours before that. If there's something that's missing, you can always upload it. But if the bid is due at 2 and you realize at 2:03 that something's missing, unfortunately, it's not something that we can do. And this is a list of the job contractors. Again, if you're interested in subcontracting on some of these large projects, please reach out to them directly. And for any of the procurements, this is our contact information, and you can reach out to any of us as well here at HABC. And that is all I have. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. And listen, to be the HABC, the fifth largest in the country, congratulations. You know, we're real proud. I know you work
Thank
really
you.
hard at everything that you do. So thank you, Lauren Hicks. We're
Thank
about
you.
to open it up to Q&A. I know that the project manager for this, our Build Back, Renee Sambert's about to come on. But as we do that, I had some notes here. I just want to make sure. I know Christine Bivens, this must have felt like deja vu over 100 times. And, you know, just anytime that we have the opportunity to work with Myra Blanchard or Reginald Mack or Ashley Griffin, of course, and our team, Nicole Miles, who's our genius, of course, along with Christine Bivens, Claudia Barrera, Ken Clark, and of course, Renee and Jolie Guerrera. So just want to turn it back over to you, Renee, as you open up the Q&A. But on behalf of the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council and our project, the Capital Readiness Project, led by Sonia Bigelow Smith, and of course, our grant from Baltimore Community Foundation on the bridge collapse known as our Build Back program. So thank you very, very much. Renee, I know that you all are going to open it up to questions. Folks have hung in here. I'm impressed out of my mind, but the power that we had in this last hour and 15 minutes, can't beat it. So I'm going to bid adieu as you move it to the next phase.
All right, thank you, Sharon, so much. And thank you for everybody staying on. Like Sharon said, we really, really do appreciate it. At this time, if we could have all of the presenters to come on screen, please. All of the presenters to come on screen. And we will have Ken Clark from the Key Bridge Business Recovery Program ask the questions that were in the Q&A. So Ken Clark.
Hi, everybody. Let me first of all congratulate all the speakers. You've been so good and informative that there are only a few questions that came up. So let me start with one that is hot and heavy in the national dialogue right now, that in light of federal changes regarding DBEs, how will the city handle DBE, MBE goals going forward and existing and future contracts that are fully or partially federally funded? I guess that goes to Chris.
Yes.
And Tom, I guess.
So obviously, as we've kind of had the conversation, we talked about the different levels. So with us being in the city code and at the local level, until there's any federal law that would prevent us from operating our program locally, we're going to continue to certify businesses, have the program, and move forward. Obviously, the impact on us will be on federally funded contracts. If there is anything federally funded, we're in full conformity with the law, so we won't have goals on those projects. But anything that's happening that's state or city funded, we're still looking to move forward and enforce those goals until we're unable to do so from a legal standpoint.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And from BDC's end, we don't handle any contracts for procurement in that way, and none of our funding comes from federal sources. So there's nothing in BDC's operations that are currently being affected by any type of administrative directive from the federal government. And just here as part of our equity statement, we focus on equity over equality, right? We are aiming to serve businesses that are traditionally underserved, and as again, a majority minority city, we understand that, and we are always on the lookout to lend a helping hand to anybody, but of course targeting minority and women-owned businesses as well for assistance and engagement. So no changes here, thank God.
Well, great, Tom. And since you're speaking, this other one is for you. Will you work with any real estate agents, local real estate agents, to assist with leasing or purchasing of office space for businesses?
Yeah, I answered that in chat. The answer is yes, a little bit. And so we are always trying to match make businesses, office occupiers, industrial users with properties. That being said, we cannot act as a broker. We are legally prohibited from doing that while not being brokers. You can get in a whole bag of trouble for something like that. So I'm certainly happy to have any conversation with anybody seeking space or any space holders seeking tenants. We do, track those things and try to match make, but there is, I can't put you in a building or anything like that. But, personally, I'm always keeping an eye on office space, from a real estate perspective, and the city is clearly hurting from that standpoint at the moment. I think the central business district is approaching 30% vacancy, which is not what you want. So the answer is yes, and then eventually the answer is you're going to have to hire a broker.
Okay. Do A&E firms, architectural engineering firms, need the SMBAD, the Small Business and Diversified Certification and Public Works Certification alone, or do they, along with MDOT and MBE certification, in order to bid on contracts? So the issue is, do you need both the local work in addition to the MDOT certification in order to win contracts?
That's a good question. So you don't need to be certified by the state or the city to bid for opportunities. Our opportunities are open to everyone. What happens is if you're not city certified, your work won't count towards any city MWBE goals, whether you're prime or sub, you just won't be able to count towards that. Additionally, Dina can speak to it, but there is also a requirement to get pre-qualified. Dina's pre-qualification requirements that she spoke of at Office of Boards and Commissions are completely separate from city or state certification. So there's kind of three separate buckets. But the only certification when you're working on city projects you need to be mindful of is that city SMBA and NWBE certification. The Maryland state certification is just not applicable for our goals. So it's great to have. Yeah, I encourage you to have both for certain. And if you're a contractor or a consultant, you should definitely get pre-qualified as well to be able to do that work in Baltimore City with Office of Boards and Commissions.
Okay, great. The last one, I'll because we're getting past our time. I'm registered in Workday and get RFPs, RFQs. Do I need any additional certification to get started? And I think the answer is depending on where you're going to work.
Yeah, so if you're registered in the city, if you're in construction or design consultant, you would need to get pre-qualified with boards and commissions. Otherwise, other than that limitation, if you're in Workday, you don't have to get any additional, assuming that OBC's requirements don't apply to you, you wouldn't need to get any other certifications to begin bidding and work in the city.
Okay, great. Okay, Renee, I think that's all the main questions. Some new ones came in once I started this. So let me see. I think you answered this question. Do we need to have an office located in Baltimore City to be qualified for any specific solicitation?
Just the market area if you're going to be certified, but if you're not certified, in Baltimore City, we love working with people from throughout the state. So anywhere that you're located, you can always work with Baltimore City. You can always come in and bid on opportunities. It's just that geographic limitation based on our market area of where we spend money and where those businesses have been historically subject to some aspect of discrimination.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you, Renee. I think that covers it. And
Yes.
Just for everyone's knowledge, all of the slides will be available in the PDF sometime in the very near future. Renee and Nicole will announce that.
Yes. Thank you guys so much again. Like Sharon Pender said, thank you guys for all the information that you have shared. This has been a lot. And I know these MBEs are grateful for all the things that they have. We will been sharing your information throughout the chat. So thank you again so much for staying with us. We really, really appreciate it. And you are one of our business partners with the Key Bridge Business Recovery Program, the CRMSDC Key Bridge Business Recovery Program. So again, thank you so much. I also like to do a quick shout out to of course, the production team from CRMSDC for all the things that they've done, but also for Myra, Reginald, and Ashley. Thank you so much for all the help that you guys did to putting all this together. Yes, it was really appreciated. And that is it. Sharon, do you have any last words before we go?
Oh, just gratitude. We're good.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.